Alright, what's going on, guys? It's GCP here, and honestly we have talked a lot about skill-based matchmaking on the channel, but in terms of it being one of the worst decisions you could have made in a video game, especially in Modern Warfare 2019, which, by the way, the reason for this gameplay, which what you're seeing right now is Black Ops 4, is because earlier yesterday I was trying to get gameplay for Modern Warfare and I was just not having it. It was just not a great time, and it was greatly in part due to skill-based matchmaking, which is why I went to Black Ops 4. And if it is indeed in Black Ops 4, it's not very thick or it's not very heavy, like, at all. Like, obviously I can dominate in this game, and of course it's not just skill-based matchmaking. There's a host of things that make Black Ops 4 a far superior game than Modern Warfare is. So honestly, it's a lot of those factors, but skill-based matchmaking has a lot to do with that. And speaking of skill-based matchmaking, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already heard that Destiny 2 made the controversial decision to remove skill-based matchmaking for the majority of its playlist, and it has definitely seen an uptrend of players playing that game. The population, especially in PvP, has increased because of this decision, and this is what we have been telling Activision to do for the longest time without any avail. Obviously, it's a decision that makes a lot of players more happy than not. It is something that makes the overall experience for video games a lot better, less sweaty, and it's just a much easier time, and it definitely is a better response to the whole skill-based matchmaking sweatfest 24/7. Now let's take a look at some of the things that they have done in Destiny, that Bungie has done rather. So this is one of the reasons why they have decided to remove skill-based matchmaking, and I quote, "We want the rest of the Crucible to be less of a high-stakes environment where players can have a more relaxed experience and just enjoy the Destiny multiplayer sandbox." Wow, what a statement from Destiny. Obviously, they want people to have a less high-stake environment, meaning less sweaty environment where they don't have to sweat 24/7 and they don't constantly have to be on their best all the time. This is something that we have wanted in a Call of Duty game for a long time now, and it's not happening. They just get it at Bungie. They get it. The best decision that they personally have made is to break away from Activision, because Activision is the one that controls the skill-based matchmaking in these games, and good for Bungie, man. It's good that they actually understand that. So here's the sad reality of skill-based matchmaking. When skill-based matchmaking is enabled, the game has to balance queue times, connection quality, and skill difference all at once. Obviously, not every game strikes a good mix of these elements. The studio recently decided to go back on the decision and removed skill-based matchmaking from all modes except for elimination, survival, and survival freelance. Now, honestly, this is what we've been talking about. This is something that I've been talking about, and it makes a world of difference. Obviously, when skill-based matchmaking is enabled, your queue times, meaning pairing up with people, is going to be increased, meaning the system is going to try to figure out all those people who are of similar skill level to you to pair you up with them. You know, honestly, it's going to take longer to queue you up with those types of players. Your connection is obviously not going to be its best, because to find somebody of your similar skill level, it might have you pair up with somebody from across the pond, across the country, wherever you might live, or in another continent, just so it can fulfill that skill-based matchmaking. Obviously, if connection were the priority here and it didn't matter about your skill, then the connection, again, like I said before, would be the priority, and you would actually get a much better and stable connection, and that would make for a much better experience in gaming, and you would lag a lot less. So to me, I think the whole skill-based matchmaking being taken out of Destiny and them actually seeing an increase of players in PvP is a direct correlation of them taking away skill-based matchmaking, and good for them, man. This is something that I hope that Activision will take note of. And for those of you guys who are content creators as well, make some videos on this, or even if you're not a content creator, at least try to, if you're on Twitter or something, retweet this and let Activision know, let Call of Duty know that this is the way that we actually want things to be. It would make for better times in gaming, honestly. In Call of Duty used to be a much more casual experience. I don't understand the whole notion of them being as competitive as possible, especially for public matches. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you have skill-based matchmaking in a non-ranked playlist? Call of Duty was never that way. It was supposed to always be a much more casual experience. It was not very competitive to begin with. If you want to put skill-based matchmaking in, include it in a ranked playlist. I've been saying this forever now. It just makes a lot more sense, because why are we going to jeopardize our connection? Why are we going to jeopardize the queue times just so that way we can satisfy this whole skill-based matchmaking notion? What, to satisfy the noobs? I mean, the veterans are obviously the ones who are being punished, and you're taking away that experience from everybody because, like I said before, connection or ping should be at the top of your list. Obviously, this is something that I think is a big deal, and it's something that I'm actually happy for those Destiny players. And I sincerely hope that Activision actually follows suit with this. Will they actually follow suit with it? I mean, I don't know. Only time will tell, but if they do, I already know it's going to be one of the best decisions they make, and there's going to be a lot more people that will hop back into the game or back into the franchise if this decision were made. I mean, honestly, it's just an obvious choice here. If you take it away, a lot more people would join. I know a lot of people in the community are super frustrated with the thick amount of skill-based matchmaking. I mean, a lot of my own subscribers have said constantly that the thick skill-based matchmaking, constant 24/7 sweatfest is something that has turned them away from Call of Duty. And I can't blame them, because that actually happens to me quite often. You know, whenever I hop into a Modern Warfare match, I constantly have to put on the best class in order to actually stay afloat. Can I compete with some of these sweats? Absolutely, I can, but I'm not going to be going on very long streaks. I'm not going to be able to do extremely well or have a really fun time, because I'm constantly worrying about putting on the MP5, the M4, and the GRA constantly. I'm constantly having to use the meta in order to do well, or I just have to play super passive and tactical in order to compete with some of these sweats. You know what I mean? So it's not like I get destroyed by them. I could definitely hold my own, but why? Why do I need to constantly be on my best when I'm playing a Call of Duty game, especially a public match versus a ranked match? I mean, I'm not even being incentivized for constantly sweating. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good to have lobbies that are competitive every once in a while, but every single match where you're being paired up with pros, like, I mean, why do we need to do that? And we're not, again, like I said before, being incentivized for that. If you want to incentivize us, make a playlist that is ranked and give us a proper rank and give us some sort of incentive to want to constantly sweat and play players of similar skill to us. That would actually make sense. What Call of Duty is doing right now actually does not make sense. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think about Destiny removing skill-based matchmaking from the majority of its playlists? It was the right decision in my eyes. What do you guys think in the comment section below? If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload. And with that being said, this is GCP signing off.